Seniors, nearly graduates, we are fortunate to have had you with us, whether for 1 year or 13, particularly when you immersed yourself and applied your talents and your gifts to the elements of school life. In doing so, you left your mark, not only in the classroom, but at Lava Lounge, in the athletic arena, on the stage, and in our town. You've also left a bit of yourself with every person in our HPA learning community. We are changed and better for having known you. One thing that struck me from your slideshow in the theater yesterday was joy. There were so many moments of pure joy reflected on your faces as you celebrated or even as you just interacted. I wish we could capture that sense of free, simple happiness and let a little into the atmosphere now and then when we need it. But that's up to us now and to your successors as you take your lightning in a bottle around the world from here. Of course, our hard times don't often get photographed and show up in slideshows. We usually capture the happy moments and the shining achievements, so those are the ones we reflect on when perusing images from days gone by. While there are plenty of worthy, beautiful memories, and you will make some more today, I'm going to share some thoughts on how life is inherently paradoxical. Bad or difficult experiences become valuable learning experiences over time, and the hard moments often shape us more profoundly than the happy ones. It is all about perspective. Your tough experiences are in some ways like the eruptions presently taking place on Kilauea. The outside perspective tends to focus on property damage, statistics of people affected, and the likelihood of large explosions. All bad stuff. And this is not to minimize the plight of people who are displaced or the importance of monitoring that risk in our environment. We should be helping to meet very real needs and maintaining awareness. I'm glad that is happening. And there is a longer-term perspective that we've seen expressed by some Native Hawaiians and others the last few weeks, that the land on that part of the island belongs to Madame Pele, and people can only expect to live there in a transient sense. Lava goes where it will, with the power to destroy whatever stands in its way. It is no respecter of persons or their works. That older perspective acknowledges that yes, there is destruction, but without lava, there is also no life. Without raw, elemental, unstoppable forces boiling out of the earth, none of this could take place today, because there would have been no land for plants, animals, and people to populate. Lava in Hawai'i equals growth, new land, and new life. You have experienced powerful currents moving in your lives this year and in past years. Sometimes they moved like lava flows, creating a swath of destruction through your life and the understandings that you worked so hard to construct. Metaphorical lava flows might be hard to bear, but they always carry the potential to bring new understanding and the seeds of new life. We can learn quickly with acceptance, or we can learn slowly with resistance when it comes to traumatic events. But we always eventually learn something and apply those lessons in some way. So I hope that you actually take as an inspiration that the earth keeps working to bring new life to the surface, and neither should you give up delving the depths of all your experiences for transformative meaning. I read a story recently in which a man told a journalist he had lost everything and was essentially starting over at age 65. His house was destroyed by one of the fissures in Leilani Estate subdivision. 47 years ago, that person was in your shoes. Life pressed the reset button on him, and he is in your shoes again, without the energy and elasticity of youth, perhaps, but with some additional wisdom gained through experience. Still, you never think it will happen to you. You can build your house in a rift zone and figure the risk is reasonable to take for a human lifetime against the island's clock. But how unrealistic of any of us to expect that geologic processes will pause for our convenience and result in a sort of static island paradise. The stories we are hearing from the Puna district remind us forcefully that life is dynamic, and to make sure our lives are about more than just the accumulation of possessions, because those things can be gone in an instant. Talk about shifting perspective. My mom and dad, when they were teaching me to drive, would tell me constantly to look for escape routes in case a car or a pedestrian did something unexpected. Where would you go if, they would say. Would you drive into that ditch, cross over there? Would you slow down and pull over? It was a little unnerving at the time. But I was reminded of that training when reading the man from Puna's story. The connection for me is that the world does not owe us a trouble-free existence. At any given moment, anything and everything could turn upside down, despite all our attempts to manufacture and maintain a safe environment. Since that is just the way life is, what are you doing to prepare? What's your volcano going to be? What are your safe escape routes while driving through life? The idea of considering this is not to live in fear, but to hold on loosely to those material things and to be ready for anything, empowered by your agency, your ability to plan and to act and to accept what is happening while also changing your reality. The idea is to live with purpose and the knowledge that you will be able to go on even if all you have is the breath in your lungs, because that's all you need to live and to love the people around you. Right now, you are full of hope and aspiration. You have amazing plans laid out in front of you. I would love to attend some of the schools where you're headed, or venture forth on the gap years I've heard about. You're also probably anxious and unsure about a lot of things. As the saying goes, the world is your oyster, but first you have to pry it open. And you might have to pry open a bunch of those opportunities before you find one that resonates with you. Sammy's speech at the last convocation was refreshingly honest about the conflicting emotions battling inside most of you right now. As you look ahead of you, consider that choosing to pursue a purposeful activity now will displace that fear and anxiety because you'll be too busy getting things done to worry. If that activity also serves to help humanity in some way, then being part of something meaningful and bigger than yourselves shifts focus away from you and your own hierarchy of needs. Paradoxically, there's no better way to meet your needs than to dedicate your efforts to the happiness and fulfillment of others. Just ask the people sitting up here around me. Seeking experiences, achievements, money, and positions for their own sakes will only bring temporary adrenaline rushes, leaving you thirsty for something more with deeper meaning and sustenance. But as you seek to help others, you'll help yourself. I know you know these things. So thank you for listening to me one last time, seniors. I'm intensely proud of you and thankful that part of your life's journey was lived out here at HPA. Remember us, come visit anytime, and honor those who have invested their lives in you by giving your all and living life to the full.